What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. Really quickly before I get into the video, I have a question to you, and that is that tomorrow I'm planning to do some type of like a let's play video. You know, me just playing a game, doing some live commentary, maybe even adding a little face cam, because I saw, you know, that's something a lot of people have requested me to do again lately. But the question I have for you is, what game would you like to see me play? Like, I think the second Assault map pack for Battlefield just came out on the PlayStation 4, and I can't wait to go back to some of those maps, you know. At the same time, I know that Outlast is a game that a lot of people would like to see me play, you know, this horror type of game that, to be honest, I'm very sensitive, you know, for that type of stuff, so hopefully you won't actually recommend me to do that. But then again, my question for you is, what game would you like to see me play tomorrow in a, you know, sort of like highlight let's play type of video? So, you know, that being said, today I wanted to talk about Mirror's Edge 2, and this is not just me, you know, talking about this game that I'm really looking forward to. This is me actually trying to get you a bit hyped, especially if you you know, you haven't played the previous Mirror's Edge or something and you don't really know what it's about, because I think that Mirror's Edge, you know, I just hope that the new Mirror's Edge 2 or whatever they will call it, because right now that's just a working title, I just hope that this time it will sell. But I'll get into that, you know, very soon, because I think, you know, the game just will probably deserve, you know, to sell a lot, because I'm sure it will be an awesome game. So for those of you who don't actually really know what Mirror's Edge is about, and kind of like sharing you my history with that franchise, the first Mirror's Edge came out in 2008. It's a game published by EA and made by DICE, who you know from Battlefield, and actually they will also be doing the new Battlefront game, which is going to be awesome. But at the time when it came out, 2008, it just didn't sell well. It was this first-person free-running game, and basically what you do is you get through these linear levels, and your goal is pretty much to keep up the momentum and get through the levels as fast as possible. You know, some sections you had, for example, police that you had to like disarm or kill or whatever. That was definitely, those were the worst parts in the game, but all in all, it was just, in my eyes, a lot of fun to play. And I've said this a few times before, I think, is that you know, you had some time trials in that game and speed runs and stuff, and I was just addicted to beating my records at the time. Like, there were a few maps, especially the DLC maps. I can actually call the names for those people who do own the game. You know, the maps were Actino, Rise and Razmetas, and I absolutely love those DLC maps, and I actually got the world records on those two maps a few times, because of course I would get beaten all the time again, and then I had to get my world record back. Right now I don't have the world record anymore, so you know, that's a bit of a shame. But then again, I mean, I just haven't played it very actively, and I know some channels, actually some YouTube people, and also just you know, regular fans, of course, that still play the game to this date, which is insane. But then again, it made me really happy when we saw that EA actually announced that there would be a Mirror's Edge 2, together with DICE, of course, because they're still developing the game. And it's not necessarily that game gets me so hyped because I want more Mirror's Edge. Of course I do. I mean, I love the first game, and I just wanted to see a sequel to it. But right now, what we know about it is already really exciting, and then, you know, just the potential for that game is something that I keep thinking about, and I keep getting more and more excited about that. Because here's the thing, what's pretty much been hinted at right now by some guy from EA is that the game will be going open world, which is something, you know, that's just awesome, because the first game was heavily criticized for just being very short, and having an open world game pretty much makes for infinite value, you know, infinite playing time, and you can just do side missions all the time or explore the world. That's just awesome. That's something I can't wait to see. You know, the graphics are going to be insane, of course. I mean, DICE, developers from the Frostbite 3 engine, I'm sure Mirror's Edge 2 will be built on the Frostbite 3 engine. It's gonna look incredible, that's for sure. I mean, the first Mirror's Edge to this day still looks amazing on the PlayStation 3 and even on the PC. Actually, the gameplay you're seeing right now is me playing on the PC. Probably my first PC gameplay in a video, which is, you know, quite interesting, I guess. You know, I don't really have the best laptop to run it, but then again, I hope the frame rate is decent. Anyway, so graphically it's already gonna be great, and then there's the open world. But I think that the thing I am most excited about right now is the potential for a multiplayer mode. And I know that a lot of the time people are like, you know, they shouldn't include these multiplayers in these very single player focused games, and to be honest, I just don't agree with that, you know, most of the time, because it's not just that a game isn't suitable for multiplayer. No, it also has to do with the developer, and if they can make a multiplayer mode for the game that actually adds something. You know, we see multiplayers like Tomb Raider, Bioshock, Dead Space, and those multiplayers just weren't well worked out. You know, God of War probably as well. But at the same time, I just feel like, well, the developers could have done a much better job there if they just worked it out better, you know, and then the multiplayer could actually add something. Look at Uncharted, you know, and the Uncharted 2 multiplayer was amazing. After that, nobody expected that game to even have a multiplayer mode. And for Mirror's Edge, it's kind of like, you know, the first Mirror's Edge has time trials and speed runs where you just race against ghosts, you know, from your friends or from people that are very highly ranked in the world, you know. And with Mirror's Edge 2, I just feel like, well, what if that game would have some sort of competitive multiplayer aspect where you could actually race against, for example, 8 people at the same time? That would just be insane for me. I would love that so much for that to happen. So, you know, all in all, those are just the things I can't wait to see more of. And I really hope that DICE, you know, will be doing these things, will be like adding a multiplayer mode to Mirror's Edge 2, because, you know, if they work it out well, it's just going to be incredible. And, you know, then of course they will still improve on all these things that the first game was criticized for, like the combat. I hope the game doesn't, you know, still doesn't have too much focus on that combat, and at the same time it's worked out better there as well, that you know, it's just much easier to aim and stuff, and it was a very basic system that didn't work well in the first one, so I'm sure they'll actually improve on that. But like I said, Mirror's Edge 2 gets me really excited, and what I would like to know from you is, have you played the first Mirror's Edge, and if so, are you excited for the second one? Maybe you haven't even played it, but you're still excited. I just want to know that from you. And then of course also, what game would you like to see me play tomorrow in my new video? But for now, I want to thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.